Holy shit, I just got money. Right, Swanky Hobocop is back on the case. So, we were going to investigate the people in door number 10. This apartment's empty. Did you break in? Excuse me? Of course not. Scare them, suspected of some big crime. You have plenty of reason to enter. Okay, so I can go with logic or evil stuff. I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's a break-in. Then open the door so I can verify your identity. Are you cooking morphine in there? Oh, okay, 3 different routes. I don't need a warrant, which is logic. Yeah, you know what, I'm going that route. Oh, come on. There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked. Sweet. That was smart, the lieutenant says, nodding towards the unlocked door. Well, thank you, Kim. I think we're becoming friends. And get the gun ready. Oh, nice jacket. Real estate agent. Oh, God, she is horrifying. Oh, she looks like someone melted oh, she looks like a melted painting. That's horrible. Real estate agent. Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see? She jingles a set of keys in her hand. You want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. Yep, I'll inspect it. It feels flimsy in hand with the words Revachol Special Administrative Region written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details. Nice haircut. Yeah, I can be nice. Thank you. She slips the passport back in her purse. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I glimpsed what are you doing here? We'll start with that. She sighs and looks around. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. Sounds like they know knew how to have a good time. Reprehensible. Who lived here? I fuck shit up too. I want to go with that, but I want to try and find out who it was. It was some kind of moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make the rent. She stops hesitating. A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending. Oh. But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. I glimpsed a foreclosed apartment down the hallway. Oh. That's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months' rent. 3! We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen, but Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighbouring door, and there's a hole in the wall. Electrochemistry. So preppy. She was probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Preptide or Pericanine. Pericanine? A hole in the wall, can you believe it? She spreads her hands. And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that. She snaps her fingers. The sum must have been puny. Yeah, okay. My money has also disappeared, I think. Nice, let's get in on that. It couldn't have been that much money. It looks shabby. So wait, what happened with the wall? Yeah, we'll go with shabby. These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture with a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbours, life, spark, and they are affordable. Yeah, there's your main point. I tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards. My money's also gone. Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. Okay? So, what happened to the wall? Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both! She's still shaking her head. Manicured hands now crossed over her chest. That's all. Cheers. Bye. Of course, she replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. I'm sure you have. Now, before I go, I'm just going to have a look around. Blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. Thank you. Ooh, what's Hypno Gamma? It's like a fine mattress, and I'll just go through and I'm going to take those shoes. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. +1 composure, -1 savoir-faire, savoir-faire even. Interesting. Okay. Alright, you were kind of useless, but I guess that's one very quick piece sorted out. Firing squad for the rich. Foreclosed. Ah, yeah, we've done this one. Base, plan, look around, sad, shiver. Sea blue looks cold and winter grey. Someone's torn the bloody wall off. Okay. Take all their shit. An old grocery list. What happened here? You can't foreclose on an apartment. Well, we know where that one ended up, so we're going to be a blunt bastard. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains in here, except the stuff in the fridge. There's always a little something in the fridge. I get a feeling there's something in the fridge. Okay, well, to the balcony. From memory, I think it was room 28 we need to be going to look at. Okay, I do wonder... That's interesting. Did that highlight before? No, it didn't. So... Yeah. Visual calculus. Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbour until it happened. Form a guess. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline, fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct line of fire. Taking the ocean, look at the ruins. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Ugh. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. Shivers. Yeah, I think this is me experiencing ghosts. I think I want to spec into being essentially a ghost detective. That'd be quite cool. Underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand and the mud. Helmets of soldiers, and their finger bones too, and clavicles littering the ocean floor. What did this? Visual calculus again. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. Like the end of The Hobbit, but interesting. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful, the ships not only required gyroscopic stabilisation, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Bloody hell. Hey! Level up. Sweet. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol. Oh, excuse me. Hey Kim, do you know who shelled our city? Give me 2 secs. The coalition, says the lieutenant, but that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here. He fears the discussion might lead to disagreements, as it often does. I don't know, it's not like we've been against each other. Visual calculus again. The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscure the better part of the remains. Endurance. This is where the damage came from. From somewhere in the inlet. The cannons. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. Okay. Well, this is all proving ostensibly cheerful. Give me some. Yep, sweet. Alright, skills. We got more skills. I quite like this. It says tune into the city. Call for city lovers, the wisest of street ride, the genuinely supernatural. Shivers come when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. It enables you to hear the city itself, to truly belong to the streets. It's a supernatural ability. Old wrongs play out in present time, scenes across the city happen in front of you. But who is speaking to you? At high levels, shivers may make you seem mad to the outside world. As you listen to the city, you don't listen to others. Your superiors may begin to worry. With the low shivers, though, you will seldom hear the city speaking to you. And if you cannot hear it, how can you ever save it? I quite like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to spec into shivers. I quite like the idea of being like I don't know. I don't think what I'd be. Kind of a supernatural ghost cop. Ghost dad. Yeah, I'm having that. Ghost dad, here we come. That can drop out. I'm going to put that in because someone down there is not being nice to me. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the
The
pier.
streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth? Blood type? The last time I was tested for Hep C?
Okay. We just want to know your name, little lady. Don't get offensive. Don't use that tone with me. I am the law. Let's start with your blood type and go from there. Hep. Yeah, when were you last tested? Just answer some questions, okay? Let's give her some shit.
Big man. Art is above the law.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside. Conceptualization. A brush? An artist? The red splatter is urban expressionism. Perception smell. That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil. Okay. Well, let's start with that. He studies the contents of Cindy's bucket. Red dyed heavy fuel oil intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise. What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself, back in Jamrock. Fumes are bad for you, okay? You'd better hand it over. That's some clever cultural commentary. You ain't seen nothing yet, piggy boo. Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at? She nods disdainfully towards the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Hatred? Disgust? It's hard to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring. Oh, well, yeah, she does look a bit of a swanky doodle. She hisses, "That Azon whore! Someone's got to keep an eye on her." Azon is an archipelago, bloody hell, 2 days' travel away from Revachol. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez, so why is she here? Who is she? Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. He nods in her direction. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. Nice. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know, do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet. Well, I'm definitely on that. Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Boop, her, boop, up, good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon. We've done that. What are you doing to the wall? Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural. An aerograffito visible from low orbit. He studies the wall, suddenly pensive. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. So you don't know what to write? Why are you so committed to facing the building? I've got an opinion. Yeah? I love public art. I'm going to have to stop you. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied. Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Throw her off the balcony? You heard your partner. I'm unstoppable. Physical instrument. I condone the idea of using physical force on her. She's a girl. Okay. You know anything about the murder? She wrinkles her face. I ain't no snitch pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's. Beep. No shortage of squealers in these parts. Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner. We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant. Beep. Oh. Want you back, Ungulate? Wow. You've got eyes on you. Are they your eyes? Oh, did I want to go back in there? Ooh, I'd say yes. Someone's been sleeping here. We wonder if it's Cindy. Give me the money. And give me the cut-off jeans. Have a look at these bad boys. So I currently get savoir-faire, nothing, +1 to electro. This will give me +1 to electro, -1 to reaction speed. So I'd be trading negative savoir-faire for negative reaction speed. Oh, I thought they were cut off short. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we're sticking with those. And some coal, is that? Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. I bet there's more I can see in there if I have better perception. Okay. Up we go. Lock is rusty. You can't get in. Chair's new. Someone lives back here. Ah, seriously? Bitch, I will fuck your shit up. Okay, so that heads back outside, but I'm assuming to a slightly different location. So we'll try out here, have a scout round, then we're going back around to the balcony to room 28, the one where we said, oh, we'd better remember this. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and tools used to assemble it. Well, I'll have those tools. Signal blue naval coat. Okay, so at the moment... Oh, this shows me... No, that shows me what I've just put on. Okay, so that +1 conceptualization. This would give me suggestion. But I would lose half light. I don't really mind losing half light because that's kind of dark. Conceptualization I'm not bad on, so I'd still have +1. Yeah, cool. Right. Give me all your garbage. Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Roundabout north. Let's head out this way. I think this will take us down to the harbour. looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. I think we've established that, haven't we? Barely if this boat shines like it was recently painted, so someone's here taking care of things. Dock reserved to residents of Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane 33A. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this shop, this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Well, pretty sure I'm not going to like you. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat. Smiling as you approach, her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. She extends her hand in
Joyce
greeting.
L. Mercia. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Well, we gotta shake hands.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is
I
tight
was
and cold.
dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame.
He
My
opens his
colleague will
notebook.
take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Bloody hell. Cheers, Kim. Reaction speed. Oh, that's the one I just... Oh no, I chose not to add to. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you? That's not sexy music. Is that the fucking Jeffersons? Right, anyway.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
Right, okay, well, obviously she's lovely. You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not many people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around. We are on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Wait, we're on an archipelago? Yes, we are. She raises her brow. We are on La Caillou. Caillou? Caillou. I thought we were in Revachol. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. We are, and the city of Revachol is on the island of La Caillou. Bet I'm nailing that. Still, I haven't seen many other people on boats. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Cupricina motor carriage either. Kind of fumbled my way through that. Actually, the lieutenant becomes defensive. That motor carriage has been specifically issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbour. It's not a toy. Neither is this. The woman pats the cabin hardtop. A toy, I mean. Oh, I can't keep doing that. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol between city and the islands. I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Good. Right. You seem rich. Can I have some money? Trivial success is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it? Oh, Inland Empire, so this is me in my own head. Wait, why not? Look at the lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub. What lustrous hair. A well-kempt yet tasteful short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel. Shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style. Positively statuesque. While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from cold, her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. Conceptualization. These are the kind of eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible. Within reason, yeah, so. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a sight of booze precedes you. Excuse me. Your hair sticks to your forehead and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too ashamed. I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. As I should be for even considering it. This is a woman and I'm a man. Yes, I should make... Yeah, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I think your little communism protects you from this communism. Communism. You think your little communism protects you from this feeling. Jesus Christ, I'm having a brain fart. Nope, the more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet. As I was saying, her voice breaks the silence and suddenly you're back again. Nearby a seagull pecks at a piece of garbage. If there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. Right, long shot, let's go. Voila, you're doing it. Really put your back into it. Yell it from the top of your lungs. Okay, right. I can go with, you seem rich, can I have some money? Can I have some money, ma'am? Help me, I'm poor, I need money to keep living. Or money screaming. You know what, if we're being sensible, it's one of the top ones, but I have to just scream money. I'm sorry I couldn't hear you, she chuckles to herself. The wind is a bit strong. I need money, we're yelling again. How much? 130 real. That's a good sum. Not too small, not fantastically large. She reaches into her raincoat, pulls out a zip bag. In it you see paper notes arranged like black gills. She removes a few notes and hands them to you. The paper is cold and all to touch. Holy shit! I just got money. Okay, reaction speed. There must be about 200 real in that zip bag, maybe a little less, plus some change at the bottom. So, she returns to the zip bag to her jacket. I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still. I'm an honourable policeman, one of the few good men. I don't think I can go with that. I'm still getting my head around this whole money concept. Yep. You're right, ma'am. You're right, ma'am. That donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they're properly logged with the precinct. Which you most certainly will do. She bows and then raises a single eyebrow in your direction. Now, how else can I help with the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries? I want to know about the lynching, but we'll come the long way. What we do, I'm afraid I don't speak for the Wild Pines as a whole, it's a giant undertaking. So what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. She points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east towards the harbour, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with the energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms. The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain, himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain. What are the other ones? Saint Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star. You're in good company, it seems. Why, thank you. She does not register the real meaning of the remark. Yes, she does. How much money does that have? I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet. Last year, more than 20 billion real in revenue. A billion? How much is that? It's a number, officer. A big one. What's it made of? It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands. Wow. 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Cool. Where do you get all that money? Trade. Fairly straightforward. Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly, though. You know more than you let on. She takes a sip and looks you over afresh. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed and been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines has had to grow and adapt. No suzerain. Suzerain? Suzerain, I'm going to go with. Did that. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owner? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? That's all I need to know. Let's move on. I don't really... yeah, I'm going to have to ask about the strike. Everything right up to, but not including trade secrets. Wait, I want to hear the trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergency Act of Trade. It's quite the octopus. Oh, an octopus? I will slay it. Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own. What the demand means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words. Cool. I'm derailing us. What's your role in it? I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counter-offer, so she goes back and forth. How are the talks? They're not going. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected. Interesting, so the lynching is what has stalled the negotiation process. Now they won't even let me near the harbour. There's a 2.2 metre racist behemoth blocking the gates. Well, we know about that one, so the strike is connected. Her eyes narrow. Yes, I believe there's a connection, but that's a subject for later. Tell me about the big dude. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. She pauses. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their Big Tent organisation now. How are they going before the lynching? Let's say I'm not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for. And when you first arrived? I arrived 3 weeks ago. He thinks, yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes, but the strike began in December. She wasn't the original negotiator. She took over to Mr. Gaumont, hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont, despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. This isn't the first strike then. Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more aggressive. So what happened to Gaumont? This Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? Boop off midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Cool. Yes, extremely. Keep in mind this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before and was more than fair with him. What's their demand? There are leaflets everywhere. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker a member of the board. That's stupid. They don't... Yeah. Seems like they don't have a clue about business. In its defence, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Most of them probably don't even know what that means. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature from 2,200 workers. This is just stupid. Just so you understand, this is but one of the 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they the kings of the company, they are also the kings of 72,000 employees. That's pretty funny. They're having a blast, but how can they afford it? 4 months, what are you going to do? Not really sure. Naturally, I assumed this was just their opening position, hard-nosed tactic, but there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated. Ad infinitum. And now people are getting lynched, I hear, behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation. Excuse me, Lieutenant says, but from whom did you hear about this lynching? Solid grammar, Kim. The reply comes quick. I first heard it from the boyer at the gates, the one whose very name advises his aversion to work. Oh, I think... Oh, yes, call me mañana. This checks out. Scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs? She raises a brow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work? Don't let her answer it herself. Interesting. Let's call them strike breakers. You put them there, right? If these strike breakers were organised, then it would be a company secret. I couldn't share it with you, not yet at least. It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion. Oh, excuse me. So tell me about the union boss, Mr. Clare. Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. He's fantastically corrupt. He's a dick. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. Is he that bad? He's the most corrupt individual I've ever met. Then there's his twin brother Edgar. Looks exactly alike except for the lazy eye. He also talks exactly alike. When one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. So they swap back and forth. Edgar has a lazy eye. It's how they circumvent the term limit, you see. With a funny little switcheroo, while in office they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. What about the union itself? The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution 20 years ago. It has not have been easy to establish the Emergency Act, but they did. I respect that. Organised labour is its best, they say. The Brothers Clare claimed and transformed it into, how do you say, a mob. Refreshingly honest, Kim. So the company's tried, but those two are just fucking up for everyone. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask, what would you say the Débardeurs Union is? A giant league, basically a socialist mob, an effective advocate. Why do you think so? Between Everard the human leech and Measurehead the unionist sounds like a motley crew. I'm into it. I was... Wink. One more thing, you said something happened in the elections. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman. Previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yep. The last day of the local chapter elections, she just disappeared. This forewoman and her name. Sadly, the company record did not give a name, just forewoman. Okay, well that's shit. Eerie, downright haunting. It was a union matter. These kind of stuff happens around the brothers. Okay, now let's get to it. Here we go. Quite a few things. Secret task complete. Viewed the wild pines bit. Okay, alright, cool. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers. I don't have my badge. Motherfucker. Of course, I'm this person. This is my colleague. He doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. Why is that, detective? Remember? Okay. So I'm essentially saying, yeah, I lost my badge. Let's deal with it. I see. She looks increasingly worried. So you're saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? It's possible. After a heavy night drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Yes, I'm going to go middle. Oh dear, she sighs with compassion, sadness even. I suppose this just explains some of the more curious turns in our conversation. She must have been expecting something for a while now. As I said, Ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer. Okay, right, we're getting her info. She sympathises. She has to see the badge. She's a professional negotiator. She could be open to some kind of mutually beneficial arrangement. You know what? We'll give it a try. Fail. Feelings will guide the way. But madam, I need to know about this. It's very important to me. I hope you have your badge for me as soon as possible. You don't understand, it's not like a side case. This is my main thing. You have so much else, I have only this, is it? Okay. Ooh. Officer, the carbon fibre hull creaks. No, she puts her foot down on the guard wire. I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back, more than just guilt. Suggestion you're doing it despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in somehow. I'll be frank with you, if I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want something tangible. The Union's conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps look into this. Or you can find your badge, which seems like a lost cause. Detective, a word in private. Okay. Hey, psst. Who? Me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're starting to build communism again. Again? Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet, but neither has love. Should we just stop building that too? Yes, we should all stop building love. This conversation isn't really about love. It's about communism. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomise the landowners, impale all people who have more than 20... I don't think I've said any of that. I've said some mildly left-wing things. Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence, don't deny it. This is going to be opening up communism as a route I can go down. It's too tiring, I'm beat down. I'm not doing the communism thing. Well, I guess no one will build communism. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Did someone mention cocaine? Are we doing cocaine? No? I'm sure I heard someone say cocaineism. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? Okay, goodbye communism. I'm fine with that. I don't need that shit. Go fuck yourself, communism.
It's not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How do you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman. Really? I thought it was going so well. She's running circles around us. You might have known about your misplaced badge, or she's simply an adept improviser. Maybe this was all her plan. The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. We could just, you know, find my badge. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have time? The situation must have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Okay. What do you propose? That we don't investigate drug trafficking? No, there's reasonable suspicion. Otherwise she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on the take, we'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for information. They could know about the condition. I won't go that far. Okay, let's have a chat
You're
with
back.
her.
Good. What can I help you with?
Tell me about the trafficking. Quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samarani Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Ingredients for what? Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. The materials come through the terminal. Yes. And you want us to investigate? Yes. But you won't get anything out of the dock workers. Every chain has a weak link. The handoff, the motor lorries at the roundabout. Precisely. Okay, so the lorries are stuck there, so I might be able to get stuff out of the drivers. No coincidence they're stuck there. No, we asked to raise the drawbridge. However, limited time opportunity. Ooh, shivers. Good. A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass files concealed beneath tarpaulin. Is it just your teeth chattering in the cold? Sorry. A lot of it, she nods. It comes in from large summer factories. In Tien, Sigai, in Sinyao. The litterage they must get from this terminal alone must be oceanic. Well, at least this solves one mystery. What's that? Why, I had to call Eastmost Attract and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I'd first drove in on my motor carriage. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, let's move on. Yep, we're going to take the case. Excellent. She sips tea. She says sweet. We move on. We rock and roll. And speaking of moving on, that's a bit of a bumper episode. That one ran longer than I expected. But we'll call it there. On the upside, we've got a bunch more money in our pockets. We've got another next stage of the quest to move on. And hopefully we can go find the dude in his apartment to see if he knows about the lynching. And we know that the lynching is connected to the breakdown in negotiations for the strike. So there's a bigger plan. There's a bigger picture starting to emerge. But that is a bigger picture that we'll wait till next time. So as usual, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.